Joe, I wanted to ask you quickly. I know how you are when it comes to the topic of Big Brother looking in, and you're almost a freak about this.
Yeah.
What do you think of the facial recognition, the Amazon facial recognition?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the fingerprint thing.
It's good, by the way. It's picking people out of crowds.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, it is. I guess it's good if you're looking for somebody, but what if, you get mistaken
identity,
Yeah. Right, okay. I have a guy, Dr. Edward Peters, who's an expert on this whole thing, on the line to talk about that right now. Doc, good morning. What is, police departments are loving this, aren't they?
Well, it has the potential to really decrease the uncertainty when somebody makes a stop or tries to find someone, and overall help increase the effectiveness of policing, as well as increase the safety of both the officers and the potential person being questioned.
Could it? I mean, it can pull somebody right out of a crowd, right? I mean,
well, that's not as easily as you think.
Oh, okay.
Right now, the highest accuracy rates are really for when somebody is, let's say, going up an escalator or in some kind of confined space, where they can really get an accurate shot of the person's face and in good lighting. The best system available is able to do 99.3% accuracy of a match in that situation. Now, as you move to things such as, let's say, an indoor stadium, it drops to 83.
Oh.
When you move to outdoor, it drops even less. All of these things are very light sensitive as well as emotion sensitive. So the match match accuracy drops depending upon the situation you're in.
I know my iPhone does the facial recognition, and sometimes it'll recognize if I'm wearing sunglasses, but I put on an old pair of sunglasses, the old the Ray-Ban, those old Ray-Ban ones that are that cover a little more. It won't recognize my face. So I'm assuming this technology is going to get better. If we're here now, where are we going to be in 10 years?
Well, over time, it has the potential to get better as the algorithms can be better trained.
Yeah.
But remember, it has to match against something.
Right.
And to be able to match against, let's say, you or me, typically it needs to have a whole lot of pictures of us that have different facial expressions, are in different light, all those types of things.
And what Joe had talked about is what about mistaking identity? Is it possible two people that look kind of alike, all of a sudden they get? And is this a violation of our rights, our civil rights?
Well, let me answer both those questions. First of all, it can come back with a false match, and that's where the algorithms need to be trained very well, and we need to really understand the accuracy of the algorithm being used. And that's something that's being called today, they call algorithmic transparency, meaning if we're going to use this kind of algorithm in our community and our police are using it, we should have the right to ask exactly what is the match accuracy that you're using.
Yeah.
And as a group, do we think that's right?
Right.
Constitutionally, it's going to be a challenge.
Right.
For instance, a simple match against one thing is possible, but when you start looking at surveilling somebody as they go through different cameras and looking at them as they go through different parts of their life during the day, I mean, this raises some questions. I mean, recently, in a case before the Supreme Court, Chief Justice Roberts wrote that government secretly monitoring and cataloging every single movement of someone across time is really unconstitutional and violates what our expectations are about law enforcement
right.
and what they can and should be able to do. So we will need to struggle with this for a while here. And just because technology can do something, what is it we should really think about allowing it to do? We'll have to make those decisions.
Dr. Edward Peters, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right.
Bill, you would think you would
I wanted
need
to squeeze
some
you into this, Joe, because I know you're on
you
not
think
over
you would
this.
need some kind of court order, though, for surveillance. You know what I mean?
Right, but
you can't just go surveil
this
people.
This is just blanket surveillance.
Yeah.
So, and you think about it, somebody's at a bus station or somebody's walking into a stadium or just walking down the street. And it might not be quite there yet, but it's coming.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Safety-wise, it probably could help because you have lists of people on the most wanted. You can take that picture, and find them, I guess, for that reason. But it's scary to think about,
We've got Joe Lode. We've finally found him. He's running in the Boilermaker. 15,000 people. We're going to pick him out of a crowd.
He's running dead last.